실력 증가되어야 되고 재정적 공익적 가치 실현을 위한 재정적 기반이 확실히 필요가 있다는 생각이 듭니다. 이러한 것이 있는데 저희 한국 공동체 라디오 역시 강화대사의 역할을 더 키워나갈 수 있을 뿐만 아니라 동아시아에서의 역할 역시 확대해 나갈 수 있다는 확신을 가지고 있습니다. 꼭 이날 결의 자체가 한국 정부에 전달되었으면 좋겠고 이걸 시초해서 한국 공동체 라디오가 실질적이고 효과적인 활동을 할 수 있는 기반이 만들어지기를 바랍니다.
I think we called over number one is if I understood the increase our output from 1 watt to very sequence from 7 CR stations to more community radio stations from Korea, and a fund, I think the funds for helping the community radio stations to run effectively. And number 4, there was one amount to send this resolution to the concerned authorities of the Korean government so that they're informed of our request of our stuff. That's what we are doing. So please, if you have problems. Your turn?
Yes, I have an introduction. Thank you very much. You all know, Korean government provide every year a lot of development assistance to the developing countries. Bangladesh is one of the development countries. Bangladesh every year receives a lot of money from the Korean government for Bangladeshi development, and like other countries. Normally, they provided a lot of money for development infrastructure, road communication and other. Second, ICT promotion. Third, digitalization of the governmental mechanism. Fourth, health promotion and like this. But promoting community media, invest some money for promoting community infrastructure media like this. There is the absence of their agenda. So we will be very happy if KACR, or we will be very happy if we include their resolution to ask their government to provide, to include some of money, 2%, 3% or 5% money to invest for promoting community media with their development assistance. So it will be very nice if they include, and if they include it, and finally OICA, Korean International Cooperation Agency, easily include this matter in their ongoing development assistance program. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Please allow me to counter proposal. I think the proposal made by ABC is very specifically about advocacy within Korea on behalf of the community radio sector. I think what you're proposing is the only common linkage is that it's both related to Korea and the Korean government. And I think those two resolutions should be separate resolutions. Otherwise, we risk diluting the resolution that is being made by ABC. That's my individual view. साथी एबीसीले के प्रस्ताव राख्नु भएको छ भने कोरियामा यो समस्या एउटा त धेरै वर्ष भइसक्यो साम्प्रदायिक रेडियो सुरु गरेको तर 7 वटा भन्दा बढी लाइसेन्स अहिलेसम्म अवस्थामा छैन। त्यो 7 वटा लाइसेन्स पनि जम्मा 1 वाटको मात्रै छ। दोस्रो यहाँबाट पब्लिक फन्डिङको पटक्कै व्यवस्था छैन कम्युनिटी रेडियोको सेक्टरलाई सहयोग गर्नको लागि। त्यसो हुनाले यो प्रस्तावले के भन्छ भने यी कुराहरू राखेर अमारले यहाँको गभर्मेन्टलाई एउटा स्टेटमेन्ट दियोस्, यी कुराहरू सपोर्ट गरेर चेन्ज हुनुपर्छ। बजुरले के भन्नुभयो भने कोरियन सरकारले अरू विकासोन्मुख देशहरूमा जसरी पैसा लगानी गर्छ त्यो लगानी गर्दा चाहिँ पैसा पटक्कै सामुदायिक सेक्टरमा जाँदैन र अब एउटा प्रस्ताव राख्नु कि कोहीका जुन अफिसियली गभर्मेन्टकोबाट आउने पैसा छ त्यो पैसाको कममा पनि 2 या 3% पैसा चाहिँ यी विकासशील देशका सामुदायिक एजेन्सीहरूको विकासको लागि प्रयोग गरिन्छ। त्यसमा मेरो काउन्टर प्रस्ताव के हो भने ती दुईटा प्रस्ताव अलग अलग राख्नुपर्छ र एउटाले अर्कोलाई धमिलो बनाउने या हल्ला बनाउने काम गर्छ। केसीआरले जुन भन्दै हुनुहुन्छ त्यो देशभित्रको उहाँको आन्तरिक स्ट्रगल हो, त्यसलाई हामी एउटा समाजको रूपले हामीले उहाँलाई सपोर्ट गर्ने हो। त्यसबाहेक अर्को रेजोल्युसन हुनुपर्छ कोहीकाले हाम्रा देशहरूमा हामी खास गरी विकासोन्मुख देशहरूमा लगानी सामुदायिक रेडियो क्षेत्रमा लगानी गरेको त्यसमा थप केही छलफल गर्न चाहन्छु।
So following the discussion, right? After versus and yes, true.
I think Bajrul's proposal is quite correct in the context that we are in an international conference, and it is our obligation as a AMAT to invite international support agencies to cooperate with us, taking in terms of international funding, as they are supporting developing countries in relation to the human development as well as infrastructure of the country. Community radio movement itself is a part of that development, and it should be incorporated in that line. So I think that it would be appropriate to call the Korean government to bring the community radio as an agenda of development support, as well as to increase its domestic development of the community radio.
Can I say something?
Before that round, and then.
So, I think there are two separate issues here. I think I agree with one. I think we all agree that Korean government should include communications as part of its support package. But the question here is whether to club it with the policy advocacy question. I think that's the real question. So, I think what we should do is keep the Korean community radio policy question separate, keep the resolution separate, and have a separate resolution, right, which calls or urges donors, generally, including the Korean donors, to have communications as an integral part of this. So just keep those separate, because one is a very targeted advocacy one, and not related to support.
I think already Ram explained our visions, and today I say, because actually only why Korea and Kawa, this is a Marx conference, so that why not others donors, it's like Japan and Netherlands and so on. Please include other donors.
I think our panelists mentioned what I was going to suggest, because in the region, this is not only Korea which support the other countries. There is India, there is Japan, there is Australia. So I think there should be one resolution to emphasize on the government to support community radio stations. Yeah, I think we are all on the same page.
I saw someone from Timor-Leste. Did you want to say? No. Just final quick. But is this a discussion being translated to everything? What you're discussing? Thank you very much, my two friends, including Hasbi and also Rita. Also Ram also trying to develop another resolution. I fully understood. Okay, no problem. But we are in Korea. Remember, my friend. We are in Korea. So it is very easy to convince, to influence, to advocacy with Korea people. Last 15 years, always we put our comments in the resolution to our development partners. Please invest your fund. Please invest your fund to promoting community media. So that's happened. But now we are in Korea, so that I propose the specific resolution, not include all rural agencies in one basket. So that I would be very happy if you start the specific advocacy, not include all rural agencies from Korea to around the world. It's okay, Vasubhai thinks in that way. So we have got actually two proposals and one option there. Very specifically, one is the advocacy thing proposed by ABC, which will support increase the capacity and the stations and funds and everything with the Korean government. That is one. So the first proposal was that let's have another resolution, what we proposed in the first place, that calling up all the donor agencies of the bilateral organizations, including, of course, the Korean overseas assistance, to have, to help the community radio around the world. So, to stick on to that, all what was this trying to say, we are in a fantastic city of Seoul, Korea, so we should not separate these two things. What do we do? Shall we make two resolutions? Yeah, please.
I think what Vasubhai is saying is that he agrees to the proposition that there can be two separate resolutions, but in the second resolution, he would specifically like to mention Korean aid to developing countries and not include any other donors for the fact that we are here in Korea and feels that we are in the best position to influence the Korean government.
Yeah, but there are
you do agree to having ABC's proposition remain as first carry forward this.
Okay, since there are two resolutions, let's finish the first one proposed by you. That we are endorsing that, right? The advocacy proposals for that we are for. Yeah, also for the second one now, we are in a position that one school of thought is saying, let's request or call upon all the donors or overseas assistance, including the Korean government assistance. And Vasubha is trying to say that's very specifically only to Korea or whatever the name is, the institution that provides this Korean development assistance overseas and also in Korea. So what do you do?
My argument is because my dear friend, I am trying to my proposal because our counterpart KFC are India. So they will play a very good significant role for our proposal to influence the Korean government only. So that I am trying to develop the specific resolution, but other one I have no problem. So, but KSCR people is here, they are the host of our conference, so that I am trying to promote the separate resolution specific to the Korean government,
Not to all donors in general.
No.
So, Rabbi or Tariq?
Now we have endorsed.
You agree specifically on
Yes,
Korean development assistance?
Yes.
Not donors in general?
No, we acknowledge.
That's fine, but maybe we should
Include
three separate resolutions.
That also. So is it something like that, if you have understood that to the donors, particularly, could you get something up? This one? Sure, please.
No, I think the submission over here is, and it can be resolved, I believe, by Basru's resolution is separate, it's a standalone, and linked, and so is then a separate resolution, a similar one, but it doesn't have the specificity of Basru's, which is Korea specific, as another resolution.
Okay.
So we keep both resolutions?
Yes.
Alright, but there is a little formality here. There is a little formality here. It's not a bureaucracy, but you know the system. That please write it down formally with the proposal today and some of the second. Is that okay, Vasubhai? Yeah. You can, or anyone you can propose and then get supported. Yeah, sure.
If you're sitting on that one, I would like to propose another one. This is actually specific to India. It's been 10 years that community radio has been existing in India. And we'd like to have the support of the Assembly in urging the government of India to recognize that
go on to all donors in general. Number 2, specifically to Korean Overseas Development Assistance. And number 3, in the Indian context, proposed by one. So 3. So may I please request you to please write it down formally with someone proposing it and someone seconding the proposal.
Right.
Is that? So may we, in principle, accept it or endorse it? And then we're going to do the formalities later. Is that okay? All right. Thank you very much.
There is one missing. Another resolution that's not submitted, but is already discussed actually.
So there's one
There's one
resolution.
there. The last one there. Is this one?
It's coming from Philippines actually. But not.
Yeah, let's just finish this and then we'll accommodate that. Is that okay? So this is not the last one, there's one more left which is on the way. Anyway. Something like old speaker is bringing.
So far we have read out 9 written resolutions. 3 are expected from the floor later, which have already been endorsed by the floor. And now I'm going to read the 10th one, and therefore this is going to be the 13th resolution. A resolution calling for an affirmative action to include 60% representation of women at all Amar Asia-Pacific activities and conferences. Proposed by Amar Asia-Pacific Women Participants at the 3rd Amar Asia-Pacific Regional Conference in Seoul, South Korea. Whereas the Bangalore Declaration recognizes the promotion of gender equality that is fully integrated and supportive of women and also affirms the rights of women to own and control their means of communication. Whereas we recognize the valuable contributions of Amar AV Women to promote gender equality in Amar Asia-Pacific under the leadership of Bianca Migliore. Whereas while we applaud the important strides made in including women's representation at all Amar Asia-Pacific activities and conferences, we note that women have always been underrepresented. Whereas we recognize that the majority of both self-funded and sponsored participants have been men. Whereas there remains a need to increase women's inclusion and participation at all Amar Asia-Pacific activities and conferences. Whereas the World Association of Community Radio Broadcasters takes a firm stand in supporting its gender policy and action plans. It is therefore resolved that Amar reaffirms its commitment to the values and principles contained in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Amar Gender Policy for Community Radio, and Amar Asia-Pacific Declaration, advancing gender equality, women's participation, and empowerment. Amar shall develop an affirmative action plan that will prioritize and channel funding to ensure 60% of the total sponsored participants are women at all Amar Asia-Pacific activities and conferences until the 50% to 50% agenda quota is reached. Amar shall work with its members, partners, and donor organizations and other stakeholders to ensure that women are nominated and prioritized to attend the activities and conferences. Amar shall increase women's access to decision making and getting the numbers right through mechanisms, strategies for accelerating equal entry in and retention of gender parity in organizational leadership and decision making at all levels. Amar shall continuously work to achieve equal participation and representation of women in all Amar Asia-Pacific activities and conferences.
This is proposed by.
It is proposed by Amar Asia-Pacific Women participants. It does not specify any individual.
This proposed here.
Surely,
and we have this request while small reading of the resolution. Could you please reduce the amount of boundary so that we can give a patience hearing to that? Those who have proposed it with all the emotions, all the seriousness, so listen to them carefully. It's not that their voices are being heard. Yes, so please do respect to the proposals here.
Thank you, Chair. Excuse me, I have a slight cold. But our proposal is the affirmative action to do 60%, and I just want you to take time to just look around the room and to see the gender disparity that is. This is just a small fraction of what was represented in the initial opening plenary.
Even the chair is wrong.
Yes, exactly. So what we actually say is that we're requesting that Amar Asia-Pacific develop affirmative action so that we can channel funding to 60% women. Because eventually, right at this particular time, whether you self-funded or you sponsored, the majority are there. So in order to get equal participation of women, we're requesting that funding should be 60%. And we look forward to the agreement among the members of the Senate. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is the proposal acceptable to all the participants? Is it? Oh, okay. So it's passed. Thank you. We are expecting the last one from the Philippines.